as we will be. God's garden oasis, where every bloom is perfect. God sees us not just as we are, but as we will be.
Selfishness seems to be a struggle for many people these days. Do we, at this time, wear a mask? Do I not wear a mask? Are my rights being inhibited? It's a hard time as a follower of Jesus to figure out just what the right answers are. I'm Nancy Hammond, and this is God's Garden Oasis. Selfishness is being focused on myself, my wants, my desires, what's in it for me. And selfishness is certainly not something that we are to seek as followers of Jesus. In Psalm 119, verse 36, it says, "Turn my heart toward God, not my wants." My eyes need to be focused on God and on what God wants and what God finds holy and good, not on the stuff that I want, because God wants good for me. And so if I keep my eyes focused on God, I will get good things. It will be wonderful. But my eyes always have to be on God. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 20, it talks about what was going wrong with the church in Corinth. Corinth learned about Jesus, people accepted Jesus, but then they started changing their rules just to make themselves happy. And they didn't really want to have to change their ways. And so when leaders got there, they had to do some heavy-duty talking to the church of Corinth. And selfish ambition was one of the things that they were finding, was that people were trying to get into leadership selfishly. And it wasn't really about Jesus Christ. So they had to be really turned around in that church. In Philippians chapter 2, verse 3, it says, "Don't be selfish. Value others above yourself." If we treat others as more important than ourselves, we will find a peace and a joy that is impossible to come by any other way. And so I have to stop myself and not say, well, yep, this is what I want right now. I want that piece of chocolate. Now maybe I can share that piece of chocolate. And the joy that that other person can have will bring me joy. In James chapter 3, verse 14, he talks about how to deal with selfishness, and that selfishness is something that has to be dealt with. And then later in 3:16, we have our verse for the day. "For where you have envy, selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and every evil practice." When we get focused on ourselves, our eyes are off of God, and we start living in the world, living a worldly life, and things become disordered and evil. Does selfishness creep in with you? Do you have to struggle with it the way I do sometimes? If so, take time in prayer asking God to help you to value others more, to help you see others as more important, to help you rid yourself of the selfishness so that your eyes can be fixed on God. Have a great day.